Grimcutty. Grimcutty. I watched this movie last night. I actually had a chance to sit down and watch a movie. Our overtime got cut at work, so I'm back to my little normal 40 hours. Paycheck's going to look really sad, though, because that big money was looking good. But anyway, back to Grimcutty. I think some of you people out there like this movie. I really do. And I just want to put this out there. I want y'all to understand that I really enjoy watching movies when I can. I don't like to sit and nitpick movies. Now, if somebody was a movie reviewer and someone that was really into breaking stuff down and really tweaking and all that, they'll probably find tons of stuff wrong with this movie. Tons. But for me, even as old as I am, I've always been that little boy that always sat in front of TV, and I was just thrilled with watching shows. And then when you watch them later on, you see that some of those shows weren't that good. But when I still watch them, I still sit back and I'm like, I still like the movie. No, even though I'm older, I can see flaws in it. But anyway, this is called Grimcutty, and it's a HULU original, I believe. It came out in 2022, and it's I think it's about an hour and I don't know. It doesn't tell you how long it is, but I'm going to give you the plot synopsis and we'll go from there. A suburban teen girl and her little brother must stop a terrifying internet meme brought to life by hysteria of their parents. And that's basically what this thing is. It feeds off of parents' hysteria. You know, they get worried, and when they find out something, this thing feeds off of them and it becomes real. But this thing, you know, my thing is, I think it started from this woman that had this thing where she was trying to get her little boy off the internet because he was always looking at the phone. You know how young generations are staring at the phone, but I don't know if you can blame young generations, man. People always got nerve talking about Generation X and the generation before that, which I don't know what the name of that is. I'm at the tail end of the baby boomers, so we're on our way out. But again, this is a horror thriller movie, and basically this lady has these parents that looks at her website and they say the same, and they put all these kids' phone in this box, their laptops and everything like that, and they try to make their kids stay off these phones. But it originated back to her. Well, what happens is there's a site that's called Grimcutty, and I guess if you get on there, you can bring this thing to life. But you can bring it to life only if your parents starts getting worried about you doing stuff. So if what this thing does is the teenager that brings it out, once the parents starts getting worried about the teenager, it gets stronger in a way, to me, the way I was understanding it, and it's I think it seems like, you know, the creature that they used for this, I thought was pretty cool. Now, I will be willing to tell you that I bet you a lot of people were making fun of this creature. It was the funniest looking creature I ever seen. I actually was watching this last night and I said, you know what, I'm actually enjoying this, you know. Don't get me wrong, I dozed off. I can easily doze off real easy because I'm always working. I'm always working out. I keep this house clean. I got a cat I got to clean her poo, all that stuff. But anyway, so this girl, this thing it only appears to you, and it'll grab you and it'll make you grab a knife. So when you grab a knife to defend yourself, it's always knives around. This thing makes you grab your hand, but the parents are looking at you and you don't see it. So it looks like you're cutting yourself. So then it feeds off the parents because the parents are like, oh, you're just like this. And it feeds off the hysteria of the parents. Exactly. I mean, if you watch this movie, that's exactly what it does. The more and more I kept watching, I said, oh, okay, I see where this thing is going. And I have to say, man, this is a good little horror movie, man. I was just shocked how good it was, you know, for me. Now, that's for me. But I think some of you guys like it. But the way they designed this creature was just, I said, who came up with this? But then again, I also say that if you're a big YouTuber and you're one of those people that can nitpick and break stuff down, you'll cut through all this. You'll probably, oh, it's this, and I thought this thing was that, and I thought this was that. I'm just not that person. if you're something like me, and you got some time, and you just feel like wanting to watch a movie at that, because you're just off on the weekend, you want to sit back at night and watch a movie, then I think this would be for you. But man, this thing was tall, had these real skinny legs, had this white face and these red eyes and this big smiley face, and it was just crazy how this thing was. And the way it was creepy too, man. The way but the ending was, I liked it. I really did. I like to know how they came up with that design. But anyway, I don't know if this is explained it pretty good to you guys, but it's called Grimcutty. And it's called Grimcutty because you cut yourself, and it made all these teens cut themselves. I mean, a lot of teenagers. You know how teenagers are in high school? They get on this site and they do all. How a lot of movies that you have where you chant these things. There's been movies that I talked about where movies chant something and then it brings the thing out and they end up doing something, but other people don't know what they're going through because they can't see it. Well, that's what this one is, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So anyway, you guys, that's the best way I can explain it, because I'm not going to try to be some YouTube reviewer. I'm just telling you that this is just like just your average horror slash. It's just your average horror slash movie, and it's an hour and 35 minutes. Yeah, it's an hour and 35 minutes. I just checked. So yeah, it's an hour and 40 minutes. So it's an hour and 40 minutes of your time. So anyway, that's it for Grimcutty. But that creature design just freaked me out, man. It was just, cause I was sitting there going, at first when I was watching, I was like, this is gonna be some cheesy thing. And it could be cheesy to you, but it ain't cheesy to me. But I enjoyed it. I think it's entertaining. I think if you want to sit down and watch something entertaining and you want to just like turn your brain off or something like that, and you're not one of these people that wants to sit back and be like, well, I'm going to try to find out what's wrong with this movie. I just don't want to sit back and enjoy a movie anymore. I just want to be one of those people that bitches all the time about movies. If you're that type of person, then I suggest do not watch this movie, because that's what I get from a lot of people. I really do. Like Black Adam's out. I'm not a big Black Adam's fan. I grew up, I was born in 59. So, my Marvel, I was a Batman and Robin, and I was my number one favorite hero was Spider-Man. But by the time I got in the 70s and 78s, man, when I started getting in high school, man, them girls were starting to look good, and I was smoking weed, and I was partying, I was going to a lot of rock and roll concerts, I went to a lot of R&B concerts. I was trying to own every concert known to man. And I love movies. And I grew up with a lot of movies in the 80s. And I just never was that type of person that would sit back and be in a movie and want to complain about something. I can even tell people, say, hey, man, the movie wasn't that good, but I wasn't mad. You know what I mean? It's like Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I wasn't mad I watched that. Actually, I'll probably watch that again. But it's a terrible movie. But I'm just not that type of person. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're that type of person who wants to sit back and nitpick and complain and talk about CGI effects, so the story was bland, or I don't understand why they do this, well, this doesn't make sense over there, and why did they do that? They missed something over there. Then this movie is not for you at all, period. God bless, take care, and we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you.